Today we'll be traveling from Basel Bad railway station. This railway station with a giant disco ball is the border railway station between Switzerland and Germany near Basel. It's a little bit different because it's basically a German railway station within Switzerland. And from here on we'll be taking a regional train that is heading towards Karlsruhe via Freiburg. And for me it's the first time taking a regional train along this route. So join me on board of this regional train from Basel Bad in Switzerland, what is, well, actually at the border with Germany, that continues to Karlsruhe. I won't be taking it all the way though. But for now let's get this video on the track and let's roll the intro. Located on the northeast of Switzerland, not far away from both the French and the German border, you will find the Swiss town of Basel. This is the third city of Switzerland. And unlike many other cities, Basel has a kind of two main railway stations, Basel Bad and Basel SBB. Basel SBB is the main railway station for, well, domestic trains in Switzerland and trains to France. And this here, what is Basel Bad, is the main railway station for trains to Germany. Although you obviously also find trains that go to the real main station, what is Basel SBB. At the front of the railway station there are some tram and bus stops, and you also find some vending machines where you can buy tickets for the trams and the buses. Obviously there's also a taxi stand and lots of spaces to park your bike. But we're not here to see any of this because we'll be taking a train from here. So let's move into the railway station. I really like the architecture at the front actually. And as soon as we enter the railway station and, well, see the main concourse, you see where this railway station is all about. The giant disco ball. But okay, seriously, this railway station is rather big, but in terms of facilities, well, it's not that impressive to be honest. Obviously, there are some information points and points where you can buy tickets and quite a lot of vending machines where you can buy train tickets and screens with information about departing public transportation are literally all over the place, and obviously some shops and some lockers as you can see over here. But well, it's not that much to be honest. I mean, it's not the main railway station of the Swiss city of Basel, it's the second railway station, and basically all trains that do go to Germany from Basel do pass by here or they terminate here. Basically, the regional trains do terminate here and the long distance trains that are heading into Switzerland do continue their way to Basel SBB. And obviously, some of these trains do continue way deeper into Switzerland, and some of them even go to Italy. The railway station of Basel Bad that I'll be featuring in this video is very unique in that sense that it feels like a German railway station. I mean, the signage, the information points, the vending machines, the ticket counters, this is all German. But we are still in Switzerland. Even though we are just across the border from Germany into Switzerland. The railway station itself, well, it's not that impressive. I mean, it's quite simple, directions have been marked crystal clear, so basically you can't miss that. Custom formalities can theoretically also take place over here. Although that won't happen that often because both Germany and Switzerland are a part of the Schengen area. I do get this question pretty often in my videos, and well, within the Schengen area you always need a valid travel document if you're crossing a border. And apart from that, you just need to have a valid travel document with you all the time, no matter what. In terms of accessibility, I think this railway station has a lot of things that can be improved because I only noticed staircases to the platforms. Maybe I just didn't look good enough. If you know if there are elevators or escalators as well, please let me know in the comments. Well, I think this railway station will be improved when it comes to this. For luggage, I noticed these kind of luggage escalators you can see here on the right. Personally, I never used them, but they might come in handy. And the platforms themselves. Well, they're not that wow to be honest. They're just platforms with clear information screens about departing trains. some vending machines for snacks and drinks, and some spots where you can just take a sit. That's basically it. For now, it's time to head to our train for today. And this is my train coming in. This is a Siemens Die-Zero HC. HC stands for high capacity. And this basically means that this is both a double deck and a single deck train. I traveled on these trains before on the Rhine-Ruhr Express, and there I actually really like these trains. I'm really curious how I like these trains on this route. Let me quickly interrupt this video. I hope you like it so far. If you do so, or if it's a helpful video to you, please give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate that. If you have any questions, or even if you just want to say hello, feel free to leave a comment. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet and you'd like to see more trip reports about more sustainable ways of transportation, mainly focusing on cross-bordering and long-distance traveling, then hit that subscribe button if you haven't done this already. For now, let's continue with this video. Before we take a close look at the interior, let's take a closer look at the exterior. Icons and class numbers at the side do indicate what facilities and what classes can be found where, and there are lots of screens with information about the routes and also the final destination. Something you maybe already noticed when I filmed a departure at Freiburg is that these trains do accelerate really fast, what is perfect, and especially for a regional train that does make a lot of stops along the way. For now, let's take a closer look at the interior of these trains. These trains do come mainly in second class. There's a small section that's also first class, but that's really not that much better as the second class at all. Some seats do have the airline style seat composition or the long distance bus seat compositions, and actually these seats do have a very generous amount of legroom. However, the tray table in the seat in front of me, well, it's so-so. Because there are some single deck and double deck carriages, this train is also easier accessible, especially at the single deck carriages, and I think this is a great combination. You see this more and more on other new trains as well. The double deck trains do obviously have the highest capacity. At the lower deck over here, there's some more space for people traveling with a bike and also if you're traveling with a buggy. And obviously if it's very busy, this here also gives more space to, well, stand along the train. Let it be no surprise that close to this point where you find some space for buggies for children and also the accessible area, there's also the toilet. That was out of order during my trip. Screens throughout the train do host crystal clear route information. Every inch of this train is being used as efficient as possible. I mean, apart from the dedicated luggage, for example bike and also buggy and disabled zones, the seats have been put in these trains pretty efficient. Every inch has been used. Well, I think this is great. I mean, why not use the space if you have it anyway? And for most seats, you will also find power sockets. And by having a part of this train in double deck and a part of this train as a single deck train, I think you have a great combination as well. Before I show you a bit more of this train, let me show you the first class. And I'm gonna be honest with you, this first class product is really disappointing. It's basically the same as a second class, but you have leather seats, that's it. Well, first class on regional trains in Germany is in general not that impressive, and that's no exception for this train. As a matter of fact, I was traveling with the use of a first class Interrail on this trip, but I decided to take a seat in the second class. Apart from the seats that do come in the airline style or long distance bus compositions, you also find quite some seats facing each other. Some of them have a bigger table in between and some of them are just base seats, so seats facing each other. The overhead luggage racks in the double deck area of this train do really not provide enough space for luggage, so keep this in mind. I mean, these are regional trains that are mainly being used for commuting. However, if you're traveling with a lot of luggage, you better move to the single deck area of this train. I also noticed that some other seats at the upper deck do provide less legroom as what I first showed you. And these window seats on the upper decks, I don't really like them. The aisle seats though, they are fine. Line maps are being displayed at several spots within these trains near the entrance and exit doors. At most windows you'll find a sunscreen, and litter bins are located at the bay seats, in the tables and also at the vestibules of these trains. Free Wi-Fi is available, although I didn't test it out. I mean, these are good commuter trains. They are not great, but they're definitely not bad either. Before I show you the views from the train, let's take a closer look at the route for our train today. Our train will go from Basel Bad railway station, what is just across the border from Germany into Switzerland, to Karlsruhe. For the first section, our train will go straight along the French border, until more or less the railway station of Bad Bellingen. Long distance trains do take the high-speed line on this section, even though not all long distance trains are high-speed trains. After that, our train will join the very busy railway corridor to Switzerland, going towards Freiburg and Offenburg. In Offenburg you find a good connection on regional trains into France to Strasbourg to be exactly. After Offenburg the train continues its way to Karlsruhe, making some more stops along the way. The top speed for our train today is 160 km per hour. Hope you liked this video or this has been helpful to you. If so, please give me a thumbs up, I really appreciate that. If you made it all the way to this point in the video and you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, you really might consider to subscribe to the channel. The main focus for this channel is long distance and cross-bordering traveling on a more sustainable way of transportation. This is an international train after all. It's not super international and it's not a really long distance, but it is a local express train, so kind of ticks both boxes, or just not just, yeah, I don't know, up to you to decide. Well, that's really it for this video. Before we really end up this video, one last thing. You can find other trip reports on this channel, and of course I will upload new videos. However, in the description of this video you also find a link to a map and where you find it all as well. See you on the next video.